Hello everyone, it's Claire again, and this session or this video is to review the session on exploiting texts. So those of you that are going to deliver a teacher training session in your region with your teachers on exploiting texts, either for language or writing, this is the video for you to remind you about what to do in your session. So the first screen you can see is this one here. And this is the first stage of my session plan. So tell the teachers that you're going to be talking about exploiting text, and then put the teachers into pairs or groups to answer these 3 questions. Okay, give them time to do that. And as they're doing that, you can walk around and monitor and listen to what they have to say. In your feedback, of course, we can tell them this, that we use them in class for other skills than reading or listening, and we can then listen to what they do in their classes. This gives them the opportunity to share their experience. The next stage is when you tell the teachers that you're going to do a demonstration lesson using a text, exploiting a text for grammar. So you need to tell the teachers that they have 2 things to do. One, they participate in the lesson as students would. And 2, they need to take notes of the stages and what happens in each stage and why. Exactly the same as you did in your training week. So again, they are students, so they participate in the demonstration lesson, but they are also reflecting as teachers. So then you tell the teachers, okay, I'm going to start my demo lesson now. And we start with this picture and we elicit, what is it? And of course they say water. Put the teachers into pairs and give them this question. What do we use water for? Give them time to answer together, then get some feedback. Just a few answers. This, of course, is our context stage. The next stage is our pre-teach vocabulary stage. So I had to teach 3 words: reusable, the water cycle, and tap. So I convey the meaning through a picture and ask, what's this? Can we use it again? Can we recycle it? What do we say about this bottle? And elicit the word reusable. And of course, we need to say that it's an adjective. And reusable, 4 syllables. Which one is strong? Reusable, the second syllable. So this is dealing with meaning, form, and phonology of the vocabulary, like we did in our training week. The next stage is our first reading, which is a gist reading. So tell the teachers they're going to read a text about water. Alone, individually, they have 1 minute to read this text and answer this question. It's important we give them a short time limit so it helps them to skim read, to read for the gist. After they read individually, we put them into pairs to check their answer with their partner, and then we get some quick feedback. This stage is very quick. It should only be 5 minutes max. The next stage in your demonstration lesson is reading for specific information. And here we get the teachers to read individually again for about 5 minutes to answer this question. List all the things it advises us and teachers to do to save water. So they go back to this text and answer that question. Then pair check, and then your feedback. Here are the answers. You can get feedback from your teachers, or you can just simply give the answers to them. The next stage is language clarification. So this is the grammar that we've pulled from the text that we're going to teach. It's called our target language. So here we need to check meaning. We do this by asking the teachers, this language here, what are we doing when we say this? And of course, the answer is giving advice. We also need to look at the form. So making sure they know that this is, and the whole form is the subject plus the phrase or should plus the infinitive verb. And for pronunciation, you can model and drill, just like we did in the training week together. So here again, you've clarified meaning, form, and phonology of the grammar. Next is your controlled practice. So here we have a picture of Rick, and we need to give some advice to Rick. Get the teachers individually to write a sentence using any of this language here to give advice to Rick. This picture is recycling. This picture is brushing your teeth. This picture is about eating vegetables. And this picture is about studying hard. After they have worked individually, put them into pairs, check their answers, and then get some feedback. Remember, they can use any of this language here. And finally, the final stage in your demonstration lesson is the freer practice. So put your teachers into groups and get them to discuss this question. What other things should we do to make the world a better place? They share together, and of course, as always, you get a little bit of feedback from them. Now you tell them that your demonstration lesson has ended, and you go back to their reflective task. Put your teachers into groups and ask them to remember the 7 stages of the lesson and think about the reason behind the stages, the stage aims. What was the objective of each stage? And of course, then when you get feedback, you can show them the stage and the stage aim. Stage, stage aim for each stage. It's really important that you give them this because this is the theory behind the practice. Your demonstration is the practice. This is how to teach. But teachers also need to understand why. And once they understand why, they can then design their own lessons effectively. This might be the end of 90 minutes. If you have time, you can do your lovely reflection that we did together. 3 things you learnt, 2 questions you have, and 1 thing you enjoyed, if you have time. But this is the session on exploiting text for language, for grammar. I hope it helps.